thing. She surrounds herself with people who don't really care about America, who don't really have the strength to say, this is us, and we stand against it. Look at her Arab American coordinator. Look at who she picked as the Jewish liaison. She did not pick people that are strong, patriotic Americans. That's not the rank and file of Democrat voters. Many Democrat voters are now what we call walkaway Democrats and have noticed that the Democrat Party has deviated from American values. Some of them are still in this malaise and will follow the party, even though when you push them on the issues, they don't agree with what's going on. But to hide behind the immoral argument, which is highly immoral, of we have an election to win, it's not even a true argument because the vast majority of the voters are on this side. There's one city in Michigan which is against it, and they're against it because they hate American values. That's it. They won't even in Michigan itself. If this vice president had a backbone and stood up and said, we stand for American allies regardless of race, creed, or color, she would pick up votes, not lose votes. She would pick up Pennsylvania, which is a very important state. She would pick up most of the Sun Belt. She might have a small issue in Michigan. That's not an electoral argument. That means that means we have a vice president that's too online and falls to memes.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Blake.
May I say something?
Give me a minute. When I'm finished, I'll come to you. Thank you. I'm going to do a quick reset. This is Healthy Debates. Guys, if you have a pink ticket, please cash it in. America burns while Biden fiddles. Anybody that thinks that this administration has been tough on crime, that our cities aren't on fire, you're delusional. Okay, maybe you live in that small suburban town, that nice little white pocket of America that doesn't get affected by this. But I don't. I live in New York City, and this city's on fucking fire. So if you have, and I asked for it before, I'm going to ask for it again. Give me some policies that Biden and Harris enacted to help American people feel safe. Yigal, go ahead.
I just want to say something about the hostages. The sad situation is there is no possibility to get the hostages back, only by deal. It's very sad. But if someone has a different suggestion, let him speak. I think that Israel make huge efforts, and also America to but there is no way to free the hostages without a deal. I am completely. I don't say that it will be the end of the war against Hamas, but the hostages should be released, and there is no other way to release them but only by the making a deal with Hamas. Very sad, but this is the reality. And there is no other way. And I think that it's a fantasy to blame America or for not releasing for the fact that the hostages are not released.
I disagree with you wholeheartedly. I think America wanted to write. Let me finish. You asked the question. I'm going to answer your question. Let me talk, please. Thank you. I think we have weak leadership. They wanted to ride the fence. They wanted to keep the Arab vote in their pocket, and that impacted people's lives. That's how I feel about it. I think Biden's weak. Harris is weak. I listen. Trump might be crazy, but I don't see him as a weak man. You know, there was a story about Donald Trump that a few people, I saw a few different people tell this story, where he was sitting down in the White House with the Taliban leadership. And he said to the guy who was in charge of negotiations, he said, if one American here gets hurt, I'm going to kill you. And then he took out of his pocket a picture of this guy's house and his family and put it in front of him. True story. The dude's not weak.
I think it's childish. There is no real way. And by the way, I think that the current administration, American administration, is very, very strong supporter of Israel. They are the best friends Israel ever had. I suggest, please give me a practical way to release the hostages. Give me the way. Tell me how.
I'll try to engage with you. If you're talking about sending some hostages home and guaranteeing there'll be another attack, you might be right, you might be wrong. The practical way of bringing the hostages home is to quickly and efficiently take control of the situation, not to wait 3 months and talking about how to do something. They were afraid of going into Rafah. At least admit going into Rafah. There was one incident of civilians getting killed in a city that was crowded incursion, and it took hold of the situation. Missiles are no longer going into Israel on a regular basis. The soldiers are no longer being attacked away, and the military of Hamas is crumbling. So at least admit that that was a huge mistake to delay. And then we can start a conversation.
The war against Hamas won't end after the deal. Hamas will
So
stay.
then what's the point of the deal?
But the point is to release to save lives of 100 Israelis.
Okay.
It's a very important point to save lives of 100 Israelis.
Right. I'm criticizing the American president for the way he's dealing with the American citizens that are kidnapped. I agree with you. Israel can't resolve this by maybe they could trade a whole bunch of prisoners, I guess, but they have to negotiate with Hamas. America, on the other hand, doesn't have to. America can threaten unholy hell on anyone holding an American citizen because they've got 5 or 6 and say, give them back and I'll give you $1 billion or I'll kill your family. America can just say stuff like that. They do.
We're gonna pull our
Dr. Corners.
We're gonna stop. We're gonna put an embargo. There's plenty of pressure that America.
I'm saying, why is America sitting? Because the president is asleep.
And let's get back to the core issue going on here. It's even, let's just say America's decision was that geopolitically, as much as we want back our civilians, the best move is to sit back. At least be full-throated supporting and honest. And Kamala wasn't. And the reason this argument started was because somebody, and I think it was a slip of the tongue, so I don't want to go too deep into it, said it's not our war, and then said they were in a war zone. No, these are our citizens that were visiting a sovereign country. That they were dancing at a festival in a sovereign country. They weren't in a war zone. There weren't any reason they should suspect that they're anything dangerous, and they're our citizens. So that's the point here. A statement should come out this morning and say the unquestionably genocidal maniac group that wants to kill people for their simply having Western values has murdered one of our citizens, and that they will be held to pay for that in all of our ability.
Well,
that's all I want.
Now let me ask you this thing. Do you think that first of all, let me make this statement real quick. No deal with Sinwar getting guaranteeing his safety. I'm not for that deal. And that's what he wants. He's now the leader in some tunnel. And from what I read yesterday, he has surrounded himself with up to 20 hostages. So if they come after him, the hostages.
And they're likely the only ones left alive.
You're probably right, bro. You're probably right. But, for people to come up on the stage and say, oh, what could Biden have done? What could Harris have done? Could have done plenty, because let me tell you something. We could have sent in, I'm just using an example, SEAL Team 6 or something, and found these hostages and got them out. But here's the question to the room, and then I want to say good morning to this. What does it even mean to be an American? Are you safe? You travel abroad, are you safe? Is America going to back you up? Are they going to get you out of a situation that maybe you didn't see coming? I'm sorry, dude. This shit was just wrong in every conceivable way. Good morning, Rabbi.
Morning.
How you doing, my friend?
Terrible.
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Terrible. This is a terrible. I didn't sleep. I saw the news late last night, and I mostly didn't sleep. And I don't know what to say. It's just a horrible day.
Do you think Biden and Harris have some responsibility on this or no?
Not really. Not top three. No. I think Hamas has the first responsibility. I think the Israeli government has the second responsibility. I don't think Biden and Harris have anything to do. No.
Thank you, Rabbi. Anthony, good morning. Anthony, are you there?
Good morning. Sorry.
I know it's early by where you're at.
Yeah. So I guess we're talking about the hostage situation. Well,
Well, we're talking about the hostages, but we're also talking about crime in America and how the Democrats have just let this country burn, and Biden sitting there and playing the fiddle.
Yeah, see, I don't agree with that, and I don't, see that in my regular life. But so that in the situation, I'll pivot to the hostages. I think that unfortunately, I mean, this is a terrible, terrible situation. I don't think Biden and Harris really could have done anything. I mean, what do you want them to do? Like you say, we're going to kill your whole family. We're going to give you $1 billion. We're going to send a naval SEAL team to save them. I mean, I'm pretty sure people like that are really, really smart, that have all these like degrees, that are experts, they've thought of all the situations, and like it just wasn't feasible or practical. The main culprits of this tragedy are Hamas and the Israeli government. I understand Israel's principle of we're not negotiating with terrorists, we're not negotiating with Hamas, we're not negotiating with Sinwar, but unfortunately, they have a bunch of innocent people they're using as hostages. So it's like, if you're not getting
Hampton, let me break this down for you. I'm going to tell you why Biden and Harris, and it's just my opinion, and I don't have all these degrees, trust me. I'm just a schmuck from Brooklyn. But it's an election year. Michigan is a battleground state. They want to get those votes. They want the Arab vote in America. So she panders to them. Since it's an election year, they did nothing. They sat back while an American citizen was murdered just yesterday. It's not acceptable to me to get votes to allow American citizens to die. What is it to be an American?
Well, I just don't understand why they would have the parents at the DNC if they wanted to, pander to the Michigan audience. I mean, the whole DNC stadium was screaming, "Bring them home, bring them home." So I don't understand. Like, they definitely weren't being pushed under the rug.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to explain to you. The Democratic Party has now become the party of fence sitters. They like to sit on the fence and go on both sides of that fence. They want the Arab vote. They want the Jewish vote. They failed us. I don't care what anybody says. In my opinion, they failed. They failed this man. They failed his family. They failed America. But let me say good morning to Brent. Good morning, Brent. Brent, are you there?
Hey, how you doing? So, just a few comments. One on violent crime. It's falling, and that's, we have to be factual in our conversation. I looked this up before I came on stage. I mean, Washington, D.C. saw a 29% decrease in violent crime from 23 to 24. Austin, Texas, 28% drop. Virginia Beach, 53% drop. Crime is down in New York City. So
no, it's not. No, it's not. I don't give a shit about stats, bro. I live here. Okay.
Okay. I mean, I don't know how to talk about reality if we can't talk about how data, how we have consensus about talking about.
Because data could be misleading. How many crimes went unreported, Brent? Can you give me that data?
If I were putting together data for the FBI, I could probably give an intelligent answer for how that is computed in the data. But no, I can't give you that answer. I can just say,
respectfully, it's even worse than that, because it's not about crimes that have gone unreported. It's about them.
So why did I stop talking? I'm confused. I'm confused if I stopped talking. Did I? I'm really kind of.
Wait a second, gentlemen.
It's a conversation app for random.
I just didn't know. I didn't know.
Wait a second,
I wanted to make two simple points. I guess not. You're gonna shut me up, Jay.
Yes, I am, because you have a one mic policy.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, Brent. I just wanted to say one real quick thing, which is that people are choosing to not report crime. Not that they're not reporting, not prosecute, Jay, not prosecute.
And not report it. Hey, Ishmael, I agree with you. I'm not arguing with you. I'm going to go back to Brent in a second, but and this is the truth. You know how many rapes go unreported in America? I don't know the exact stat, but I know it's a lot, because women are embarrassed to say they got raped. But go ahead, Brent. Give me your 2 point.
Dude, and then people aren't reporting because they're watching people watching it not be effective. So I got plenty of customers as far as the car theft shit that's going on. that just don't even call the police no more. Why? Because the police aren't even showing up, bro. They have no solution for them. Only damn thing these people can do is pay money out of their pocket to fix their car and then have to pray it don't happen again. So like all you, I'm gonna just say all you.
When a man really hot, the second he sends me an Instagram reel, you're done.
Like fuck you and your bullshit, bro. Like you live in the suburbs, you live where it's sweet, and you just ain't you're not in the
Just killing themselves.
You don't see it, you don't work.
No one cares.
And if you do, you probably catch the bus and zoom the fuck in out of
Needs
there.
changing.
Like
No phones, man.
no.
I
ain't trying to reinvent the wheel. I ain't seeking.
You brought up car theft. I think it was like 2 months ago. There was an actor from one of the soap operas, General Hospital, I believe it was. I can be fact checked on that. Came out of his house with a friend, and they were stealing his catalytic converter. And they shot the man in the chest, and he died.
Yep, typical.
So
that shit is typical right now. Crazy.
So what I was saying, the point I was trying to make is, and I'm not, people think I might be. I know Matt, a San Francisco football player, was just yesterday in the chest. Professional football player in San Francisco, walking down the street, was shot in the chest by a 17-year-old. But Brent, did you want to give you 2 points or not? Brent? Nope. Ishmael, did you want to chime in? And you know what, Blake? I agree with you, man. The people that have the most to say about this don't live where I live. And that's fine. I hope he has a safe, beautiful, happy life. I mean that sincerely. But, bro, come to Brooklyn. How many crimes don't get reported? Because people are afraid. They know if somebody robs their house, they're going to be out on... There's no bail here in New York. They'll be out the next day. Robert, good morning. Robert?
Hey, Jay.
Alan, go ahead.
Yeah, Jay, they should go to...
I'm sorry, I was waiting for my phone, not to cut you off, sir. I'm sorry, I had to run back as my phone. Hey, what's up, Jay? What's good, man?
Good morning, Robert. Robert, let Alan land, and then I'll come back to you, okay? 2 seconds.
Sure.
Yeah, if they can't make it to New York, they should go to San Francisco, the hub of democratic activity, the capital, and you people leave their cars open with the hatch open and the windows rolled down because to let the thieves know there's nothing in the car. There are so many thefts in San Francisco. And
that means please don't break my glass. That's what that means.
No, I couldn't hear you, Blake, but let me say the other thing. And that is, what was it? In LA, in Beverly Hills and Santa Monica, half the businesses have left. And there were signs in Beverly Hills saying, keep thefts, I forget the exact wording, but it says, keep thefts under $950. So they basically conceded to the criminals and are reminding them to say, hey, look, don't steal more than $950 and you won't get prosecuted, but also as a way to kind of let them know, okay, look, we know you're going to steal, try and keep it below that so we're not losing our shirts.
Well, Alan, let me jump in here. So you see, where is he? Oh, he left. Brent left. It's amazing with these liberals that they're so sensitive. When you don't accept their facts, they want to flee. It's bizarre to me. I'm speaking from lived experience and what I see with my own eyes. It's crazy out here. Good morning, Robert. Oh, wait, before you go, Alan, by the way, San Francisco is such a horrible city. There's an app to show you where people have shit on the street. People, not dogs. People have shit on the street. Imagine that. Good morning, Robert.
Hey, yeah, that ain't the app. I don't want to tune to none of that type of algorithm, man. I'm staying away from this shit. Good morning.
No pun intended.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, no pun intended. Listen. I really can't take a deep dive into the conversation about the Palestinian-Israeli thing. Haven't been keeping up to date with the latest ongoings over there. So I'm speaking lightly.
Robert, let me just say this. An American hostage was killed in Gaza either yesterday or the day before. But
Okay.
no, I don't want to really talk about the hostages right now. Let's get to American crime.
Okay, well, thank you. I'm gonna brush up because I dig deep. I do deep dives. I'm sorry to hear that. That's pretty unfortunate. Hey, listen, man. I think right now it's all about 2028, right? It really is. I think this exercise of this election cycle that we are in, the good thing is that people have been more motivated to dig deeper, pay attention, not wait to the last minute. And that enlightenment or awakeness, so to speak, or right, it's not going to manifest itself in the next election. But I think 2028, 4 years from now, if we're still all here, and younger people in particular, will have had a chance to really start be able to measure some things and see some things, right? If there are two things, right? If Harris wins, that means one thing. If Mr. Trump wins, that's another thing, right? So for me, Harris, and I echoed this a long time ago in rooms with with black folks. I wouldn't vote for no candidate just because they're black, just because they're a black man, just because they're a black woman. I would never do that. Like that is insane to me, right? That means I would be voting for somebody like a Justice Thomas, for example, or other individuals who may be black, but they don't represent.
Robert, let me ask you a question before you continue.
My ideology. Go ahead.
Robert, let me ask you a question before you continue, and I'm going to let you continue. It's a very simple question. Nobody come off mic, please. Robert, do you consider Kamala Harris to be a black American?
Yes.
Thank you. Go ahead, continue, please.
Stuff like that, like black folks going like this sword that we, the black woman is different than my experience growing up in Brooklyn. Me and you, we're from Brooklyn, and I think people can hear you say it in an Italian version that you say Brooklyn. They can hear me say it the way I say it. It's just something about Brooklyn that makes us tough, right? That makes us not tough like on that, but it toughens us up. It's hard to explain, guys. Like you have to have actually been in Bensonhurst, and I've been in Italian neighborhoods. I've been with Italian, I've been around you guys, so I know what's up. And so, yeah.
Well, Robert, you know what the difference is, and then I'm keeping it real. When you walk through Bensonhurst, you feel the eyes on you. When I walk through Flatbush, nobody looks at me twice.
Yeah, no doubt. And I've been jumped by a gang of Italians. You know what I'm saying? I've been through all of that, right? So I speak from a standpoint of my blackness, man, and my experience is unique. People associate blackness with experiences, and some feel that because this woman she spent like 8 years in Canada. When I found that out, I was like, that explains a lot, right? Because she seems odd to me, but nevertheless, she, just by virtue of how she was made, her mom and dad, they have melanated people, right? So they're black, right? So her being a thug, or her being, that doesn't validate blackness, being like ratchet and all that shit, and with all that shit. We are intelligent people, right? So some people, and I heard this said this morning, I'm going to land because I don't want to get too long-winded. Some people create boxes based on their experiences. So people have never experienced being around educated black folks or folks from a different type of background. If they've only been in one scenario, then anything outside of that, they're going to deem not valid. I've seen it all. I've been from the hood to Hollywood. I've worked on Wall Street. I've been an entrepreneur. I work with young people. I work with white, black. So my scope is a little wider than that. And one thing I don't like about her is that she does come off as phony. That irritates the shit out of me. I want her to just be who she is, state what her journey is, and then carry on. That to me would go a long way. But Mr. Trump, although he is who he is, we know who he is, right? I just think based on what he has shown in terms of how he makes decisions and just how he processes things, I don't think I think he's a clear and present danger domestically and foreign. I think he's susceptible because if you stroke his ego, he's gonna, he's open, So I don't like either choice. One choice is towards authoritarian rule, One choice is freaking 4 years of just like, we don't know what the hell, but I don't fear any war or anything like that with her. I'm hopeful in 4 years I get freaking surprised, that we're all surprised. That is my hope. So I land on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. I want to say good morning to Venus. Good morning, Venus. I got you, Anthony. Venus, are you there? Venus be love? Nope. Anthony, the mic is yours. Oh, there she is. There she is. Go ahead, Venus.
Oh, yeah. Hey,
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I just wanted to say, is this an echo chamber? I just want to, is this open views, different topics?
You have the mic. You can say whatever you like. Be you.
Okay, all right. Well, first off, I don't agree with that. That she is black. She's not black African American. She does not have. She does not have those roots here. She is Indian and Jamaican. Her roots they're not rooted here in America. So no, I don't consider her black. And that's the only thing I had to say. I mean, the topic seems, I'm still kind of filling out the room, but I just wanted to mention that.
Well, Ms. Venus, I appreciate you sharing. The topic of the room is crime in America, and how I feel it's just out of control. And it's gotten even worse under this administration in these Democratic cities. I'm not a Democrat, nor am I a Republican. And I'm just tired of it. I mean, if you look at the article on top of this, Venezuelan gang took over an entire apartment complex, and these people are living in fear, while Biden's sitting on the beach drinking margaritas. I'm not cool with that.
Top G, dog.
I don't know where the country
And Hell's Angels had to move in. Exert some governmental control.
I'm in D.C., so I don't really see too much of it, thank God, but I do, see what's going around in the country, and I saw it, and I was upset. I don't think, these folks should be here doing what they're doing, and I would vote definitely for Trump due to this. Due to this, I would definitely, my vote is starting to sway towards Trump.
Thank you, Ms. Venus. And like I said earlier, I'm going to say it again. There was another mass shooting in America today outside Pittsburgh. The details are still coming out. But this is the new normal. Mass shootings, gangs from Central America taking over apartment complexes, people punching cops in the face, and there's no bail. They get out within 12 hours. This is what we've constructed in this country by our politicians. Good morning, BT.
Yeah, can I respond to that crime thing?
Hey, you were gonna let me get in there?
Hold on a second. Hold on. I usually go to new speakers, and then I circle back. BT, good morning.
Grand Risings.
How you doing?
I'm well. It's a righteous Sunday, doing my thing, relaxing.
Do you want to chime in on the conversation, sir?
Absolutely. So, America burns while Biden fiddles. This is very fitting for what is going on. And it's really, it's the saddest thing I've ever seen, because it's so intentional, and yet half of our country doesn't see it. And I think that probably more than half, because even the immigration problem, they might not understand that even though there's a problem, it is orchestrated, and it's just too many countless videos of these people being well-dressed and military aged for something else not to be going on, and having all the resources to get here. It's bananas. And then the fact they get more stuff when they get here. Now they beating folks. Well, they've been beating folks up, doing crime, etc., taking jobs. Like, what is going on? And I'm just like, I'm over this shit, man. And, I usually vote on multiple policies, but to the Sister Venus point, sometimes you just got to do one objective, I'm a one-trick pony. If you can do the immigration thing, I'm gonna ride with you because I see that. Unfortunately, the Democrat side is allowing this, and not to say both sides don't want immigration, and both sides don't allow mass immigration and help it and coddle it. But to say, I do think Trump will at least get some folks up out of here, and that's what we need. We need mass deportation.
Well, I don't agree with mass deportation. I don't agree with mass deportation.
Mass deportation.
Hold on,
we
BT.
Need mass.
BT. We need stricter rules at the border. That's what we need. We don't need mass deportation. Because let me tell you something. I know immigrants that came here that are some of the hardest working, law-abiding citizens I know. I was in the restaurant industry, which is saturated with immigrants. So before I go to anybody else, I'm going to go to Montano, Hampton, and then Robert. Montano, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Jay. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. The mic.
Thank you. So this might come as a surprise. I actually agree with mass deportations, and I actually am leaning more towards Kamala because of that. Democrats tend to deport more illegals than Republicans. Obama has the highest level of deportations, I think, of any president ever, with over 3 million people in his first term.
With the exception.
So I actually think that that's a great idea. Crime, I mean, again, there is a mismatch between perception and reality. Perception is there's more crime, but the reality shows it's been on the decline since the 90s. So I don't really know what to believe there. I don't know about blue cities being more dangerous than red cities. That doesn't make any sense to me. Cities are cities. They have more people. By default, more things will happen. And yeah, that's it for now.
Thank you, Montano. Venus?
Oh, sorry. If I just may add one more thing. I want to respond to Venus's claim. I put something in the chat. I really don't care what her race is. I just want good policies. I don't understand people making such an issue about her race. It's kind of irrelevant. Republicans, y'all want it to be irrelevant, yet y'all keep bringing it up.
No, it's not irrelevant. It's not irrelevant. And when you become a Black American, which you are not, then you can say that it's irrelevant or not.
Okay.
I'm a Black American. It's irrelevant to me.
Yeah. I want to jump in.
Hold on, everybody. Hold on. I'm gonna go Miss Venus Hampton and then Robert.
Yeah, I think it's definitely relevant. I don't know. You might not understand, but race is an issue in America, and it's not. I don't see color. This is the world we live in, and that's just what it is. You can't deny it. But I do want to mention also that you made a statement that the Republicans don't deport as much as Democrats. That's not true. That doesn't make sense. Biden brought in the folks that we're dealing with in Colorado. He brought all those folks, the Venezuelans in. Back in 2022, he gave them a full range to apply and come into America. So Biden brought them in. You think he's deporting them as well? That don't make sense. You can't do one thing without the other. It don't work like that.
Okay, most quote-unquote illegals aren't from Venezuela. They're from 4 countries: Mexico, Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras.
Well, we're talking about
Number
the
one.
issues. We're talking
Number
about the
two.
issues here.
Yeah, it's a tiny group that you're naming and making it the whole thing. That's a lie.
No, it's not.
And number two,
we're talking about
Biden has deported more people than Trump.
But we're talking about the title here. The things that's happening right now. I just brought up, those folks back in 2022. Of course, he brought in way more than that. But I just know for those folks, that's what's happened. In 2022, he brought them in. And so when you're saying that he's deporting more than Republicans will, that's not true. Doesn't happen. They can't bring them in and bring them out at the same time.
Okay, maybe you have.
Montana, hold on a second. Montana, hold on a second. So, Montana, pin your link, whatever link you have to back up what you're saying in the chat, please. Okay. I'm going to go Hampton, Robert, and then I want to welcome Marcus to the stage. Hampton, you got a minute.
Thank you, Jay. I just had a question about retail crime. So it's my understanding that companies actually insure their products in case of theft. So if that's the case, the companies aren't losing money. They're still getting the revenue because that is insured. And then also, don't they also incorporate the potential loss into the prices? So,
well, Anthony, let me jump on that.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me jump on that. Then I'm going to give
We get it, Hampton, and it's a stupid question.
Robert, and then I want to welcome Marcus. So, no, I don't know how that works. That end works, but I'll tell you what. Right across the street from my house, I can even screenshot a picture for you guys. Was a Rite Aid. You know why this Rite Aid went out of business? Because of all the retail theft. They closed, and I live in a good neighborhood. But people would come in with shopping carts, fill them up, and walk out. And I stood there and watched it as the employees said we were told not to do anything. They went out of business. The T-Mobile that's across the street from my house went out of business over here because of retail theft. Ishmael, you have 30 seconds, please. Ishmael? All right, he stepped away. So I'm going to go to Robert. Robert, I'm going to give you 30 seconds, and I want to welcome Marcus and Conscious to the stage.
Okay, so I'll say this. Again, black is black, man. Like this whole you're not black. If you weren't born here, you're not black. I'll never understand it. Last time I checked, these same people who want to authenticate blackness, I've never heard them want to authenticate somebody being Irish, somebody being, Catholic. I've never, ever heard these same people seek to validate a Caucasian man or woman running for office. There's no fervor about it, right? And
I disagree with that, Robert. It depends on what time in America. Okay.
No, I mean black folks. I'm telling you what black folks don't do. I'm at our kitchen tables, and I can guarantee you this, Jay. Nobody is verifying what a white man's background is. We're not seeking to validate that. I promise you that, bro. So that's my 30 seconds. I'll wait until you bring me in again.
Thank you. I got you, Robert. But look, that picture on my PTR is really me. I'm not a black man in America, so I can't speak on the experience of black men in America. But I'm going to go to Marcus. Maybe he can. Good morning, Marcus.
What's going on? And yes, I can. Speaking to that specific point, when you travel around the world, you see a lot of different everything. I've been in Indonesia, China, South America, all these different places, right? Africa, all these spots. And you can be whatever you want to be when you're over there. You can be Jamaican when you're there. You can be Haitian. You can be all these other black countries and nations and ethnicities and stuff. But when you get to the U.S., it's just simple. It's black. It's black or white. It's not even like a, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no in between. It's that's just what it is. No matter what part of the world you go to, you can be a lot of things. But as soon as you touch down in America, you either black or white. So all the Jamaican Americans and Dominican Republicans and I'm from the DR. Yeah, you from the DR when you're there. And when you go somewhere else, you can be from the DR. But as soon as you touch down in America, your ass is black. And so with Kamala Harris, I've been to India. Out of all the places I've been to in the world, India, along with Africa, of course, it was just one of those places where I felt like, shit, there's a lot of black people here. You know what I'm saying? Because they all brown, you know what I'm saying? That's just what it looks like. And so even though I wasn't over there like, oh, look at all these black people here, I was like, okay, look at all these Indian people here. I'm over here in India. But as soon as they get to America, they ass is black too. You know what I'm saying? They don't call because they can try to be whatever they want to try to be. But what they look like is what determines what they're treated like. And so that's what I'm saying.
They're not treated like
guys, hold on a second, guys. Everybody that's here, you already know we have a one mic policy. Mr. Marcus Land. And then I also want to get Adams back in the conversation. But Marcus?
Yeah, appreciate you. That's Mr. Marcus, by the way. Y'all put some
Mr.
respect
Marcus,
on my name. You know what I'm saying? They ain't here trying to cut me off, and we're just having a conversation on this good Sunday. Now, your experience may be local. Your experience may be local. You may be here in the U.S. and, oh, yeah, we're one big melting pot and all that. But I'm giving you a world view, and I promise you that when you get back to the U.S., you're either black or white, and that's just what it is. So Kamala, speaking to that, of course she's black. Of course she's black. She has a Jamaican dad, all this other stuff. You see her family tree. It don't matter if she eating greens or drinking Kool-Aid. That's not what makes her black. What makes her black is her heritage, what she's already been through, the entire family tree, not what she's eating. So I don't know what that conversation is about Kamala being black or not, but there's no question that she's a black woman in America. Now, when she's not in America, she could be a Jamaican Indian woman in wherever. But as soon as you get to the U.S., your ass is black.
Okay, everybody hold on. Everybody hold on. Venus, hold on, please. Everybody hold on. Mr. Marcus, I appreciate you. And before you came into the room, the vibe I got was that it's race stealing. She's not really black, and I think that's more of a Republican talking point than a Democratic talking point. But before anybody else chimes in, I want to welcome Conscious to the stage. Good morning, Conscious. Conscious, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, the race thing definitely matters because for us as black Americans, we've had too many people infiltrate our politics and pretend like they're us. So I don't have anything against her. If she's the best Democratic presidential candidate, that's cool, but no, she cannot be listed or needs to claim herself as a black American, because the real thing is that black Americans and a lot of these other immigrants, they have a completely different mentality than we do. My bad, I'm trying to get my food. They have a completely different mentality than we do. We look at America different than they do, and it's just politics, you know what I mean? So as of 2024, in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, black people in America, we were for everybody. We fought for every race, no matter where you were from. We did that for everybody. A lot of these other ethnic groups, they kind of turned against us. My sweet tea. These ethnic groups, they turned against us. So as of 2024, we're kind of just doing fine. If you had a sweet tea with light ice.
Man, it stinks.
Thank you, Conscious. So hold on, Robert. Robert, hold on a second. I want to go to Adams because he's been patiently waiting. Adams, what do you think about what's being said?
Whew, Conscious, I love everything that you said.
No personal attacks, please.
He walked so I can run. Ain't nobody attacking nobody. I mean, we know what time it is. The raccoons all over the stage. But when it comes to Kamala, okay, and the fact that she is not black, this blows my mind, okay? Because these are the same men that go up into spaces and say that if a gay man put on a wig and try to bust it down with him, that's still a man. But when it comes to Kamala, okay, being black, y'all just ready to accept any shit. We're not doing that. So if you want to do that, then be all the way consistent. I want the three of you to go bust it down with a trans woman tonight.
Hello.
I don't even know what that means, but anyway,
I don't either.
I think people who what I've noticed is this, and I'll say this: I think there are two different types of conversations between whether if you were born here in the United States and you're black and you've traveled, which I have throughout these United States quite a bit. I've traveled around the globe, and I'm educated.
I ain't gay no more, guy.
Right? I think that we have different conversations with people who have
I ain't gay no more.
I think we have different conversations from people who just haven't been exposed to other cultures, et cetera, et cetera. I think you'll hear a different conversation, right? Now, I'm not here to authenticate what Carmela is as a human being, as far as her personality, but rest assured, in India, they have a caste system, and they use the white versus the black, the same shit, and a lot of people wouldn't even know that. So as far as I'm concerned, she's a black woman. Y'all want to say American black, this black, she's a black woman. In any part of the globe, she would be considered a black person, and that's it.
Thank you. Everybody, hold on, please. Because I made a statement earlier that me, this Caucasian dude in Brooklyn, don't care whether she's black or not, right? I don't care. I believe she's a good person. I don't know if she's the best, but and Adams is my friend. Adams came after me. He's like, wait a second, you don't have the right to say that because she's stealing. It's race stealing. I was like, interesting. See, my perspective is different because I'm not.
Discuss pets and sports. I'm not surprised there. Political issues are not discussed a lot when family and friends get together. I strongly suspect the reason is because they inside. I know families that make politics off limits at family gatherings. Few partisan differences in conversation topics. Republicans and Democrats are about equally likely to discuss family friends and less likely to talk politics. We were just alluding to that, and it goes on and on. So I understand that a lot of people that come on to Clubhouse, they want to remain anonymous for a variety of reasons, and we've had examples of some very bad things happening when it gets contentious on Clubhouse and then someone shows up at your front door. I have always used my real first and last name. I have always used my real picture. I've always had the same profile. We've had people that come into the room regularly that literally have 40 different profiles for whatever the reason is. I use my real name, my real picture, because before I came on Clubhouse, I am very well known in my little field of workers' compensation, employment, and labor law. I do a lot of blogging. I do a lot of podcasts. People would have figured me out eventually anyways. And so I just figured I'll use my real name, and, it is what it is. But I find it hard to believe that the way people, when I interact with certain people on Clubhouse, how the vitriol comes out from them and how they accuse other people, such as myself, of being rude, stupid, ignorant, illogical when I disagree with them, how they could possibly have the same type of speech and say the same things when they're together with family and friends. I have to think, arguably, they become a completely different person. And I pride myself on being the same on Clubhouse that I am on real life. Now, of course, in real life, I'm not hosting a 3 or 4 hour room and moderating a show. I'm with family, but my thoughts, my opinions, the way I speak, they're essentially the same. But that's me. Anybody? Yes, Benjamin.
Can I just mention
of course.
One strategy for having a conversation with Thanksgiving that worked for me? I was raised in a Christian household, and Thanksgiving was a time for Bible reading. When I came back to the family table with my child, my offer was that of course anybody who wanted to read a verse from the Bible in front of my child was more than welcome to do that whole indoctrinating my child thing. And all I asked in return was that I could also choose scripture from the Bible to read for their children. And it turns out, funny enough, there was just no Bible reading at Thanksgiving that year. But I want to say, Steve, how impressed I am with some prior speakers who actually managed to learn physics without experimentation. I just think to learn experimentation, to learn physics without experimentation is such a great skill. If we could teach that in our schools, we could get rid of experimentation altogether, and we could pass on physics knowledge the way we pass on our ancient religious rituals. It would just be a 1,000-year game of telephone. It'd be amazing. So I just really want to acknowledge the great skills represented by your audience and your panel members who have the ability to learn physics without experimentation. Stellar.
Thank you. I've been very, very fortunate in the people that I choose to mod up, because the people that I choose to mod have been with me forever. They come and go as they please. I mean, some we don't see for a couple of months, but they know when they're here what they're supposed to be doing and what they're not supposed to be doing. I'm sure we've all experienced other Clubhouse rooms where the room gets boomed. That can only be done by a mod, where or somebody gets kicked out, that can only be done by a mod. And I've just been very, very fortunate that this is why I have such a small selection of mods, because quite frankly, I can't trust a lot of people to do it the way I want it done. And yeah, and I'm just very fortunate that they trust me. Unlike what Shinito said in the first 5 minutes of the show, where I'm dishonest and he'll never speak to me again unless I first apologize. And you'll notice that, we'll just leave it at that. Fortunately,
Steve, can you put me in your queue when you're finished?
yeah, in fact, I'm finished. Go ahead, Adrian. Welcome to the show. What would you like to talk about?
Yeah, so recently, not recently, but I've just always been kind of really interested in communication theory, mass communication theory, and so
You have a static issue. Can you check your connection? Sounds like maybe something is not plugged in properly or whatever. But you can try.
It's a weak mic. Can you hear? Is this a little better?
That is better. Well, go ahead. We'll deal with it as long as we can. Go ahead.
Sorry for the friction. So what I'm trying to say is that did Benjamin leave? Wow. Okay, so
yeah, well, you're not supposed to use his name. You're supposed to say a prior speaker.
Okay, let me just go to my point then, which is really about communication theory, about understanding the circuit of communication, and really friction is, I feel like, what that famous movie where he's like, what we have here is a failure to communicate. So I feel like the problem in communication is road rage, and this app, in my opinion, should be a course correct or an equilibration for anger management and road raging, because every room is like a journey. You get in your car, and are you going to road rage? And I am a road rager. I'm talking about in the real world, in the sense that I speed and then I rack up all these tickets. I park where I shouldn't park, or how I have so many tickets is beyond me. So what I'm trying to point out is that at the end of philosophy, astrology, esotericism, psychology, you should be in a state of bliss, which is like going back to the origin story of the Garden of Eden and getting kicked out of it and having sour grapes about it. So for me, this app has been invaluable in course correcting my nasty disposition. And I apologize to you recently, Steve, for calling you the A word. And, I do believe in Yom Kippur, or the Day of Atonement, and apologizing for being an a-hole. And even using profanity is an indication of someone's lack of intelligence. And my father, my dad, my real dad, in real world stuff, corrected me a couple weeks ago. He said, you use the F word a lot. Anyways, I guess I'm complete. God bless all.
Oh boy. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's go to Dr. James. Good morning, Dr. James.
Oh God, I'll move to out.
What does that mean?
That means Dr. James speaks for a very long length of time.
Oh, I don't think so at all. I think Dr. James respects the 5-minute rule every 6
Oh,
times.
okay.
I don't know where you're getting that from.
You're right. Thank you, someone else.
I suspect so. Let's welcome Dr. James to the stage. It's a pleasure to see you, Dr. James.
What'd you think, Derek? Are you proud of your coach, Derek?
You've always respected the 5-minute rule.
I mean, I try. I think yesterday maybe I was enjoying the topic and I was...
You succeed.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. So, it's interesting because the last speaker who spoke...
You're fading out.
I am?
Try it again. You said the last speaker Start off with the last speaker that spoke.
Yeah. So, can you hear me now?
Yes. Okay. Just take it from the last speaker that spoke.
Okay. So, the speaker speaker before, the actual last speaker who spoke.
One of the prior speakers, yes.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time reconciling every experience I've had with this person and everything that I just heard that person say. So I'm a little taken aback by that. This is. I mean, I think it's a good proposition that one should be humble enough to accept when they've made a mistake or to apologize to someone if they've hurt them. And I think it is a really good practice. And I think this is a practice that you don't have to have a religion to understand that asking for forgiveness or owning your shit is essentially a healthy decision even for the person doing it. But one thing I would disagree with on point of fact is, and I'll pull up the article once I'm not driving so I can show you. But there is an article I read, a study. I know certain people don't trust scientific studies or whatever, but basically this study showed that actually people who curse tend to be on average more intelligent and also more trustworthy. And I tend to trust people who are a little bit unpolished when they communicate, because for me, maybe it's by the family I come from. I got a Sicilian family, Northeast Jersey. There's a certain way people talk and whatever, but also, just the people in my circle, and I tend to try to surround myself with people who I think are smarter than me, hopefully, because otherwise things get really boring. I like people who are a bit rough around the edges, and so I don't agree with this idea of being extremely polished. I think to me that shows that there's just something about that it's much more difficult to trust, because I think I'm not getting the whole person. I think I'm getting a version of the person that they're attempting to present. And so I just like to throw that out there.
Firstly, Dr. James, I'm familiar with the study you're talking about, and I want to draw an analogy before going into the study. An ex-boss of mine once told me, I don't trust anybody that doesn't drink. Of course, he's referring to alcohol. However, of course, what he didn't say was, well, I don't trust anybody unless they drink a fifth a day, okay? They're an alcoholic. The study that you're referring to, I'm sure it's the same study that I read, says that when people listen to people that curse, it makes them more humane. But it doesn't talk about if they're cursing all the time versus not cursing at all, where they seem sort of too polished and too practiced. I curse once in a while, but I would say over 95% of what I say is not cursing. But I will throw in some F-bombs in there once in a while. The study that you read, I don't remember if it talks about what percentage of the speech is cursing. But I think what it refers to accurately is that if we listen to someone speak and we don't hear them curse at all, we sort of have more trust and or respect for someone that curses a little bit, because it makes them more human and less robotic. That being said, if I go to a professional setting, if I go to speak in front of 150 lawyers and claims examiners and insurance personnel, I'm not going to curse at all. However, once the speech is over, if I'm having a beer with them, I might drop a curse word or two. So I agree with everything that you said. I agree with the study, but it has to be tapered and put into context. Did I express that okay, Dr. James? Does that kind of reflect your understanding of the study or no?
So I appreciate your take on it, and there's nothing that I would about what you said, but we're going to add to that.
You're in the matrix. You're in the matrix. Hey, give it, Dr. James, give it a minute. Give it 1 minute. We'll come back. Give it 1 minute, and we'll come back. Almost like the necessary evil. When Shanito pointed out that I originally made the claim that religion is a necessary evil. I've quite often compared religion to pharmaceutical drugs. Okay? Over 95% of pharmaceutical drugs are used in a positive way, but there's always that 1 to 4% where you have to deal with addiction and secondary.
I'm live streaming Steve Appel's room, FYI. I can mute it if you want.
95%.
What's going on?
Steve Appel, like, Ask an Atheist guy.
Mm-hmm.
AKA Uncle Steve.
Mm-hmm.
That guy? That dude's a douche.
Oh, I know. I called him an asshole the other day. I was like, you know what, Steve? You're an asshole. Oh my God, did he get pissed?
I would slap him so hard he'd call me COVID. That bitch wouldn't take shit for 2 weeks when I got done with him. I ain't even kidding. Mike.
He's a smartass.
Well, like, I'm not trying to pick apart your belief system, and I hope you don't try to pick apart mine, because my belief system is my belief system, and it's my irrational understanding of my beliefs. And then, like, when people try to pick apart your belief system, they're just trying to whittle you down to not even be able to understand your own self. And that's what I really don't like about this app, is because people will do that with their little trolling shit. They'll whittle you down. Just like a little piece of, like, shaving of a piece of wood with a knife right here, a little piece of wood. Man.
There's a saying in
Don't judge me.
there's a saying in Marcus Aurelius Epictetus that just says, a little knife. And how many times in your life have you needed a little knife to, open something?
Can I tell you the truth?
Mm.
And you won't give it to the FBI?
Well, everything is live streamed over here, so I wouldn't say something incriminating.
I killed a guy one time by death by 1,000 cuts, and I wanted to see him dehydrate and suffocate for lack of water. Was that a little much? You understand what a death by 1,000 cuts is?
No.
Alright, so give me a razor blade and let me hang you by your hands up to the ceiling, and you're standing up, you're able to barely stand on the floor. And then while you're butt naked with a razor blade, all I do is like do a 1-inch cut with a razor blade, but I do it 1,000 times across your body. But each time your body bleeds a little bit and then clots, it's the water that comes out of your body. So essentially what I'm doing is dehydrating your whole body across 1,000 cuts. And I watch you suffocate because you no longer, like, your blood turns into honey and your heart can't pump it, kind of stuff. I might be a little bit sadistic.
You think?
No, not really. Because I don't derive sexual pleasure from it, though. I just like doing it.
Oh, God. Have you seen the TV show Dexter?
Oh, dude. No.
You haven't? Really?
Yeah, Pinocchio over here. Dude. Yeah, blood splatter, blood splatter analyst. Yeah. Dude, I identify with that fucking character more than anything since Magnum PI. Because I always wanted to be Tom Selleck. With all them bitches in the ocean. Sad thing is Tom Selleck was gay.
Was he?
Dude, what?
I guess so, but what Burt Reynolds wasn't
You
gay.
didn't realize Tom Selleck was gay as a fucking $2 bill?
Burt Reynolds wasn't gay.
Burt Reynolds in Playgirl magazine. I still have that motherfucking copy somewhere. I got a centerfold of Burt Reynolds in a Playgirl magazine. When he was Smokey the Bandit's character. It was like 79 or 8 or somewhere in there.
I'm watching these guys do my fix my roof, and I was worried yesterday that I overpaid, but these guys really know what they're doing, and it's like they did my main roof, but now they're doing the coach house roof, and it looks like it was good. It's a good $2,000 investment. He's a local guy. He's been doing roofs for like 30 years. Him, his son.
Is he better than that Mexican guy that fucking did your bricks?
No, that Mexican guy did what other people couldn't do because he did it without a what are those things called? Scaffolding. He did it with a ladder, which was like a total violation of permit and law. But he did it all for, I think.
Yeah, fuck OSHA.
Yeah, man, this guy risked his life because I think he was doing it even without a spotter, and he had no support vest or anything. And it's not. I mean,
but the dude had been doing it forever though.
yeah, and I was worried he was gonna rip me off. I was really worried he was gonna scam me, and he kind of did at the end.
I heard you got a good deal out of the deal.
Yeah, but he didn't really clean up, I had to clean everything up, and
you said he left everything behind. Yeah, I remember that.
But it's more than that. There's spots where now I gotta fix things because he didn't really finish, but it's not a big deal. I still got a great deal because I was originally quoted 10 grand, 12 grand. This guy did it for 4 grand, 6 grand.
So, but the guys on the roof are on the same level?
Yeah, these guys are legit.
That's what's up.
But they only.
The dude that did your bricks was legit. He just didn't clean up after himself.
Yeah, but these guys, they don't take jobs that are really complicated. They take simple jobs. This is a simple job. And I looked at the materials at Home Depot and how much it would cost me. For the materials, it's $400 for the materials. So their labor, they're getting each $800 to do this roof. That's a nice payday for, 5 hours of work, 4 hours of work.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
So they're getting paid well, but you pay a premium to people who really know what they're doing, who have 20, 30, 40 years of experience. Because a lot of these other fly-by guys, they're literally living outside of Home Depot. They'll do any job that they can get, and they'll fake it till they make it. You're paying for their experience. I want to pay somebody who's already had the experience 100 times.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you'd want me to paint your house on the inside, trust me.
You'd want me to paint your house. This chick that I was dating, she paid some guy $2,000 to paint her bathroom. I was like, are you fucking stupid? I was like,
what?
I was like, this is just a tiny bathroom. And she's like, whatever.
It's a $50 job.
I know, it's the price of a paint bucket. That's it.
Buy a $12 1-gallon paint can and whatever color you want, and I'll be done in fucking less than an hour. What the fuck?
Okay, so I want to try to make this room a little more productive for our sake. Oh, James is here? Why didn't it show him in the room? Oh, what up, James?
wants to talk about it? Hey, James.
So the reason why I created this title is because I was in Steve Appel's room, and I don't know if you know who Benjamin is, but he loves to declare his. He's really like, honestly, I kind of like him because he's so arrogantly stupid and retarded, but I look at James one time was like, people don't realize that I come here to laugh at you and to humiliate you and to basically like make my day better because you're all so stupid. I was like, that son of a bitch. So, anyways, James is a smart man. James knows what's up. He's planning for the future. He's very intelligent, very well connected. He's got a great source of information. And I can't stress enough that James must be in possession of, a fabulous brain. So, but James, you're legit, dog. Like, I would work for you. I mean, I would do anything you needed me to do, and I vote James. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it.
Well, I mean, if Adrian says vote James, I vote James.
Yeah, me too. I like that guy, James. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, King James. You're the real King James. That piece of shit, who was at Paris. Did you see that piece of shit in Paris when he pushed that kid to the side? He's like, get the fuck out of my way. He's a piece of shit. He's a real piece of shit.
Oh my God, dude. Yes. Dude, that pissed me off. I hate those fucking pompous ass motherfuckers. I just want to pick them up and DDT them.
Listen, King James could take his pointer finger and like pop your head. Let's be honest. That guy's a beast. You're gonna need a couple men to take that fucker down, like 5, 6 people.
Dude, James, he called you a lesbian. Let's be honest.
Do you know what sexual harassment means?
The inability to defend yourself?
No. Harassment more than her face.
Harassment more than her face meant is what you meant.
So I recently took out this like really hot Hispanic chick who works for a pharmaceutical corporation, and we were hanging out at the beach and suntanning, and then she got really pissed off with something that I was saying, and then she screamed at me and said, "I am a scientist!" And I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, "Oh, you're a scientist?" I was like, "Well, how do scientists regulate anger management?" She's like, "Fuck you, I'm a scientist." I was like,
Do you know what I was going to do when I showed up, to hang out with Grey Goose? I've got connect with a fucking drug company that's in your area, and I was going to get 2 really hot women that are drug reps to come and, like, tell us about their new drug when you're Grey Goose.
So
You notice those people who yell, "I'm a scientist," they sound like a 3-year-old in like a costume. They like took part of their costume away. I'm a scientist. Give me my glasses back.
I mean, when she said that, I started thinking about all the years of chemistry and physics and bullshit that I've done, and I'm just like, I bet you haven't even done what I've done, and like whatever bullshit education you got in Nicaragua, or El Salvador, or wherever the fuck you're from, I was like, it probably doesn't match up to my bullshit, American Democrat liberal biology AP class, chem, physics. I'm just like, I was seeing this one chick who has a master's in engineering and mechanical engineering, and she's very smart. But I asked her, I was like, "Do you know how soap works?" And I was like, "It's called saponification." I was like, "I remember from a chemistry class, and she started going into the translipid. Anyway, she's a legit, like, if you're a scientist, you really know chemistry and to a very highly complicated degree. And then when you mix that with mechanical engineering or software development, like you do have the ability to be a genius. in terms of technological innovation, real, actual. I mean, I know that creating a semiconductor and all these chip plants like Intel and stuff, I know how stupid I am. However, because I've read Marcus Aurelius or Epictetus, I know that being social and being political is just as valuable as knowing how to manufacture a semiconductor for a cell phone, or how to build a cell phone like this. Like, I understand that my intelligence really deals with road rage or anger management or communication theory, and that is just as important as some Chinamen in Taiwan building semiconductor plants for missile guidance systems. That's my point. I'm sticking to it, and I'm voting James.
Yeah, also, just because like they got a 12-year-old on the plant factory making chips doesn't make them scientists. Some of them will claim to be scientists just because they did something like that, you know. And it does feel funny when you have a kid that studied, you know, a lot of science, and somebody comes to you, they're like, I'm a scientist, and they know less than you, and you don't consider yourself a scientist. You know, I guess it's because you don't like do experiments or whatever, but the knowledge makes us all scientists. We are all quotation mark scientists. We can all pretend to be one. Go put the costume on, and then you can have a little white coat. Hell, I've written a scientific theory on quantum physics.
I would ask then, what can you explain as London dispersion forces as it pertains to